Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Right now, we are talking 90 Day Fiancé Season 12, Episode 10. Questioning everything. Ooh, just gonna get on into it. Man, oh man, I'm questioning everything from this season because I just don't even know at this point. The first couple I want to talk is Marissa and Edward. So, Marissa always got something to complain about with Edward. Now she comes in this episode complaining because Edward was supposed to take out the trash. He took out the trash, but he didn't set the bags properly. He said he just set them up. He didn't understand the word curb and stuff, and he just I guess he just set the trash bags out messy the wrong way, and now Marissa is irritated about that. So she tells Edward about it. And he's just like, I don't understand, but okay, whatever. So later we see Marissa have a conversation with her mother. Now, we all know that Marissa's family is really judgmental, really they think they better than everybody type family and stuff and everything. Now on social media, Marissa's mom has been defending herself, saying there's more that we don't see. Obviously, we all know that at this point. They film scenes for like 12 hours a day and stuff, and we only see a couple minutes and stuff. But so Marissa's explaining to her mom that how frustrated she's been. She realizes she's been like really snappy and everything, but she just still feels like she's like raising a kid. And the mom was just like, well, you have to quit being nice. You have to quit being nice. You got to figure out what you really want to do. You're gonna have to have this conversation with them and tell them how it really is and stuff. And so Marissa was just like, I don't like being this way, but she's feel like she's losing sight of herself and everything. And so she goes back home to have a conversation with Edward, and she says she does apologize on how like blunt that she's been and how uptight she's been. But Edward said it best. He was just like, if I don't say anything, it's a problem. If I say something, it's a problem. And Marissa's just like, there's been multiple times that since you've been here that I've been questioning what I really want to do. Edward gets up and just walks away. And she's like, why'd you get up and walk away? It's important for us to have these conversations and talk about it and everything. And Edward's just like, I don't really show my emotions that much, but basically this is a bit much and stuff. And she was like, it's okay to show emotion. Like, this is what we're here for, to talk about it and stuff and everything. But Edward's right. He poor guy cannot seem to do anything right. I feel so bad for him. He cannot do anything right for Marissa. Now, I think that I don't know. I just don't understand why if she was really going to do this to somebody, why did she do this in the first place? In my opinion. Now, granted, and I know, because I know that some of it is probably heavily produced and they need a storyline and stuff and everything. But so even if it's the truth or not, because Marissa and Edward have been on social media defending themselves and everything, why do these people even let the producers like control them this way? So even if this stuff is just heavily produced and stuff and everything, but they need to even with that, they need to stick up for themselves and stuff and everything. Marissa even said that, maybe I do want a man that will put me in place if I step out of line and stuff and everything. Okay, if you do, okay, you want that, but when it happens, you're going to get mad. So do you want it or you don't? Just saying. So poor Edward, he just cannot win, and I just feel so bad for him, because he really is trying. He's a nice guy. He's doing what he can. He's a fun guy. He could give Marissa that little youth that she got and everything, but she's just making his life like really miserable. I feel like I probably at this point would have gone home. I wouldn't have had it to do at this point, because I just can't be with someone who's always constantly nagging at me, putting me down, making me feel like I'm less than and stuff and everything. Like, why am I here? I just want to go home to my family. So yeah, but that was Marissa and Edward. The next couple I want to talk is Thomas and Paula. So Thomas and Paula are still down in North Carolina visiting his dad and the stepmom on the farm. And they're trying to invite them to the wedding and stuff and everything. Now, remember last week they got to the farm, and they revealed that before, Thomas and Paula had visited Thomas's biological mom and stepdad before, and the dad and the stepmom got really mad about that. Now, because I guess that divorce happened when he was like 6, 7, 8, 9 years old and stuff, and it was pretty messy. Now in this episode, we kind of got to hear the dad's side of the story. Thomas and Paula like really want to invite them to the wedding and stuff. So the dad asked them, like, where are you guys gonna have the wedding? They said it was gonna be in Long Beach, California. Okay, who you guys inviting? We got some friends coming, some other family members, and yes, we did invite mom and stepdad, and we also want to invite you guys. And so the dad was just like basically, we'll see. He said that when he got divorced from the mom that she got divorced, he actually took full custody of the kids, and he said that was not, at the time, that was really not all that normal. So he felt like the mom wasn't really all that there. So that's why he just feels like a little bit of a betrayed in that moment. The stepmom, she was just like, I don't know. I got to find the guy who I called to watch the farm. I don't know. He's going to be out there going to come out and do this. And Paula was just like, for a couple of days. She's like, yeah, I don't know, and everything. And then the dad was just like, you know what? When you guys get married, the two most important people are yourselves there. It has to just be you and your partner, and realistically nobody else. Now, I think he just said that just because they're questionable. I personally think with Thomas, I honestly think that the dad, I don't know about the stepmom, but I do think that the dad will show up for him, and stuff. So I can tell that there is a lot of animosity between them, but I do think that the dad will show up. I could care less about the stepmom, but I do think the dad will show up. So, but yeah, that was Thomas and Paula. The next couple I want to talk is Katie and Josh. Now, we didn't see Josh in this episode, but we saw Katie. We saw Katie meet up with that Ryan guy that she was making out with at her party. And why is she listening? Why is she like listening more to Ryan than she is listening to her fiance? Because Ryan told her, it's just like, you know, when you drink, Katie, you just turn into this like crazy person and stuff and everything. And Katie is just like, you know, part of me, it feels bad and wants to really work on my relationship with Josh. He told me this morning he was disappointed in me and everything, this and that and stuff. But at the same time, I do like having a good time and living my best life, basically, and stuff. And Katie mentioned that Ryan had mentioned, like, Josh has been really forgiving. He's been a little too forgiving for my taste, really, and stuff and everything. So, like, Katie just, like, she just, at this point, she just really doesn't know what she wants. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something that that is coming throughout the rest of the season. When 90 Day Fiancé season 12 first released a trailer for the season, and they released the couple's bios and their story, I went back and remembered Katie and Joshua's storyline. It said that Katie's going to be asking Joshua for open marriage the day before the wedding. Now, I didn't forget that. I did not forget that. That's coming later in the season. Katie's going to be asking Joshua for an open marriage. She is very, very disturbing, and we'll talk more about that when that comes. But she's really disturbing. This is why she's acting where she is, because she really don't know what she wants. She really, actually, she does know what she wants. She wants to keep living this party, so she don't really want to settle down. She wants her cake and wanting to. She wants her cake and wanting to eat it too, and it does not work that way. And stuff. She wants her cake and wants to eat it too. You're supposed to be tending and be loyal to your fiance, to your husband, who moved all the way from the freaking UK to spend the rest of his life with you. You ain't giving him furniture. You're making out with everybody, including ex-boyfriends who you were intimate with. The ex-boyfriends are even tired of you doing it and stuff, and saying, hey, you got a fiance, you need to attend to them. And then you're going to be, the minute when you're sober, you're going to be listening to them instead of your fiance. Girl, bye. Get the heck out of here. Just people like that just make me sick. Ugh, they just make me sick. So I don't know what's going on like with Katie. I don't, and apparently I know on social media her mom is starting to kind of question what she's doing with her too. She's just like, I don't need. Her mom is just like, I don't know what you're doing on TV, because this is just ridiculous behavior, and it is. And I feel bad for her mom has to see her daughter go through that, because now it's more of an issue when you drink this much. And she's only in her late 20s. She's only 27. When you drink this much, she's going to have a lot of health problems. She's going to have liver problems. She's going to have artery problems. She's going to have pancreas problems. Like, she's going to have a lot of problems if she does not get this under control right now. She already has OCD, as she likes to call it, and I still think she has Tourette's syndrome. Like, she ain't mentioning that, but anybody can see at this point that she has Tourette's syndrome. We see her ticking all the time and stuff and everything. So it's not just OCD. She needs like some kind of rehab, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude when I say that, but she really needs help. She's a pretty girl and she has the potential, but she really needs to quit drinking and get some control on her conditions. That's just my opinion. So, but that was Katie and Joshua. The next couple I want to talk is Shay and Annabelle. So Shay and Annabelle we're still at Shay's birthday party. He is drunk out of his mind. He another one getting drunk out of his mind. He's drunk and is just trying to like party with all these young people and everything. Last week he told this girl, "Oh, this is 20 years younger, Annabelle, you wouldn't be here," and this and that. Annabelle is so frustrated that he's drunk. Like he went to go like put his arm around her, and she's like, "Leave me alone, Shay. Leave me alone, Shay." So he's like, "Whatever." So he goes and starts partying with the other young girls and stuff and everything. The daughter Allison was partying with her too, partying with them too, like dancing and stuff and everything. And then the girl that he was flirting with and some other girls, they were like, we're talking to Allison. You're like, "Yo, I did not know he was engaged to be married. This and that. He's flirting with me. I would have thought he was single right now, ready to mingle, but I did not know that was his wife and stuff and everything." Yeah, he likes to do a lot of that stuff when he's drunk. And even Shay was just like, I guess he even invited that girl to spend the night too. Ugh. Maybe we need to have a relationship swap. Maybe Katie should be with Shay and Joshua should be with Annabelle. Because Katie and Shay could do whatever they want when they want, mess up their lives and not care about nobody and stuff. So Annabelle is now getting frustrated. She goes inside. She's ready to go to bed and just stay inside. She goes inside. She is annoyed with Shay with his drinking and the flirt with girls and stuff and everything. And Shay kind of got a little aggressive. He was like, come back to the party. And so these are just my friends, baby. Like, everyone knows I'm here with you. This and that and everything. She's like, "No, I'm tired. I'm tired of you flirting with these girls. I'm done with this." And like, baby, come on, this and that, and everything. And she's like, "No, I'm not coming back to the party." And she's mad, and I don't blame her. I wouldn't come back if I see my girl flirting with a million guys and stuff at a party and stuff, and not paying me much attention and disrespecting me. I don't want to be there either. So she does that, and then spoiled brat Allison says, "Oh, I don't like how she bosses him around and everything. If she can't handle this lifestyle, she can go back home to her family." So everybody online was saying, "Oh, is questioning, oh, does Allison really looking after her dad and stuff, or really is she really looking after Annabelle and stuff and everything, or is she just being petty?" She ain't looking after Annabelle, because judging by the previews of next week, her and Annabelle going to get into it after church. So, some of these people are just like making me. I'm on fire tonight. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm on fire tonight because this is just ridiculous, in my opinion. Speaking of ridiculous, let's talk about freaking Asia and Maxwell. So Asia and Maxwell. Okay, Maxwell's sister. And Maxwell's mom had a conversation, because the mom had told the sister that Asia is 10 years older than Maxwell, which raised a lot of problems and stuff and everything. The whole family is together for trying to discuss like everything, like basically this relationship, basically. And the sister was just like, I need time to process this. Mom just told me that you are 10 years older. And Asia was just like, you know what? I intentionally held that information from them because I knew that they would react this way. It don't matter if I'm 10 years old or 100 years old. I'm walking down that aisle with 100 years older, 10 years older. I'm walking down with Maxwell on our wedding day. And Asia was like, I'm looking at Asia's mom. She kept quiet. She was like, I'm looking at my mom, and she's been really quiet. My mom done spilled the beans because, yeah, Asia's mom was the one who told Maxwell's mom that she's 10 years older and stuff and everything. So they get into a whole like debate over the age gap, and which is I don't think is such a big deal and everything, because like we seen this is actually in the Nigerian, from what we've seen in 90 Day in previous years, this is actually really generous compared to the Angela Michaels, the Kimberly and Usmans that we've seen, the Lisa and Daniels that we've seen in recent time and stuff. So this is 10 years is actually pretty generous compared to what we've seen before. So they had a whole debate, like Maxwell's sister, I think her name was Blaze, was just like, statistically, like, like the men are usually older than the woman and stuff and everything. And Asia was like, and I actually agree with Asia on that. She was like, don't judge me by my age, judge me as a person, and you're judging me as my age. And the sister was like, no, Asia, I love you as a person, like, but it's just this age gap is just going to be hard for me to get over and everything. So then they started talking religion. They started talking about like, what would God want? Like we're connected with the kingdom of God, and God got us and stuff. Then they talked about kids and stuff. Like, is she going to be able to produce? In Asia, told the dad, she's like, we have options in America, like freezing eggs and this and that. Now, if we're all supposed to be people of God over here, then why can't we just trust God that he's going to give me a baby? And then she says somebody in the Bible had a baby at 90 years old. And I'm just like, don't do that, Asia. Don't do that. Don't compare yourself to anybody in the Bible. Don't do that. Don't do that. and stuff. So, so the sister, after a lot of back and forth, and Asia's mom another concern was for Maxwell's sister. She was just like, I'm not sure if Asia's going to treat Maxwell well. And this is when Asia's mom stepped in. She was like, well, Maxwell is grown. He's grown, and if he's not going to put up with Asia, like treating him well, treating him bad and poorly, actually, and stuff. So he's grown, and again, they just went back to talking about religion and stuff, and then prayer, and then at the end of the day, the sister was just like, you know what, like, okay, I still do love you as a person, like, we can work through it, and then that led to a prayer. Having everybody hold hands and say it in prayer, and Asia speaking in tongues. And when she went to her speaking in tongues, I'm just like, oh, here we go. Now, again, and I've said this plenty of times, I grew up Pentecostal, and I know about speaking in tongues and stuff, but there's a difference between when you speak in tongues, you have that's when the Holy Spirit hits you. You can't, and me personally, I can't physically speak in tongues. Even though I grew up Pentecostal and I can fake it, but it's never really hit me to do that. And I wasn't judged because I couldn't do it. I could still be Pentecostal without speaking in tongues, but when you speak in tongues, that's when the Holy Spirit hits you. The Holy Spirit, even when you say a prayer, don't doesn't always hit you like that. Oh, dear Lord Jesus, we thank you, Lord. That's no, no. It happens more. It happens more in church, yes, but not just in. And I'm not saying it can happen it cannot not happen outside of church. I'm just saying that not every time like you go in for a prayer, the Holy Spirit is going to hit you like that to speak in tongues. That's just what I know and stuff and everything. Because I know there's just a lot of controversy with that, with Asia and her speaking in tongues throughout the whole season and stuff and everything. But that's just a better understanding of it. But nonetheless, so Asia and Maxwell also told the family that they are going to get married in a week and do the spousal visa. And they're just like, okay, whatever. Okay, got my concerns, but this is what we doing. This is what we doing. And judging by the previews, you know that one guy that she was with before she went to Nigeria is going to cuss her out next week for doing this. I can't wait to see that. I cannot wait to see that. Okay, so that was Asia and Maxwell. And the last couple I want to talk is freaking Mallory and Rashid. So before I start this couple, Mallory did an interview. Okay, I guess the 90 Day Season 12 tell-all was already filmed. And I guess once again it's going to be going down. I guess there's some fights going on at the tell-all for this tell-all. She said it's going to be with people who you don't expect. So yeah, Mallory did an interview. She says going down at the tell-all, but at the same time, every time someone teases a tell-all, they always say that. They be like, "Oh, the tell-all's juicy. You're gonna want popcorn. Oh, it goes down. There're gonna be X's, and it's really nothing. It's really nothing. The only tell-all that was actually yes, there's been crazy moments at tell-alls, but there's only been two tell-alls that have gotten kind of like, I'm just kind of like, ugh, about. That was last year's 90 Day Fiancé tell-all, the season 11 tell-all, and with, Shekinah and Amani and Maddie and Danielle and all them and stuff and everything. And then the other tell-all was obviously season 2 of The Last Resort, where Jasmine and Rob got into it when she threw the shoe at him and stuff. Now I'm thinking Last Resort 3 is going to be just as juicy. But those are the only two tell-alls that were like, where I felt like were like really got really got really hostile and stuff. So, but anyway, Mallory and Rashid. So Mallory, after the prenup talk last week, is taking Raj to his first ever baseball game. Really cool. And Mallory's friend Michaela has gotten a surprise for him. She has connections, and they're going to one of these little minor league. I wouldn't say minor league. It wasn't a major league game. It was just some kind of minor. It was still a professional league, but just one of those amateur professional leagues and stuff game. But Mallory's friend Michaela got connections and set up to where Raj was chosen to throw the first pitch at the baseball game. I thought that was amazing. I thought that was really nice that Mallory and her friend set that up for him. He didn't know what he was doing. She had to explain, because he don't know baseball. He's never seen a baseball or throw a baseball and stuff. And so she explained it, and he's excited. I thought that was really nice. Then Mallory tells Raj that Brandon's gonna be coming. And of course, that just killed his bit. He's like, why is Brandon coming? This, and that, and everything. So she was just like, you guys are gonna have to just get over your problems from the white trash bash party and like get on and stuff, because he's gonna be in my life. And he's like, I don't want to be his friend. I don't want to be his friend. So whatever. So we get to the baseball game. Michaela and Brandon and this other guy show up and everything, and they ain't talking. They ain't talking, but they take Rosh to the field. And the PA announcer announced, okay, coming all the way from Turkey to his first American baseball game is Rashid, and he throws the first pitch and everything, and he did well. But then Brandon sitting in the crowd talking about, my grandma could have thrown a better pitch than that. That was nothing and everything. So he throws his first pitch, and now they all go sit together. Mallory was just getting ready to sit with Brandon, and Rosh was just like, no, you're not sitting with them. Let me switch. And she's like, whatever. Whatever. And then the national anthem came up, and Rosh doesn't know, but Brandon told Rosh, stand up, take your hat off. And everything. So Rosh stood up. Mallory, he left his hat on, but Mallory had to take off his hat and everything. And so national anthem plays, and Rosh is just irritated with just being around Brandon's presence and stuff and everything. So then at this point, Brandon was just like, you know what, let me just move down here and everything. So so Rosh was asking like the other friend more about baseball, and Brandon answered and tried to explain to him baseball, and then Rosh was like, I don't want to talk with you and stuff. I'm asking him and stuff. He's like, whatever, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So Brandon goes to the bathroom, and Raj and Mallory and Michaela go to get some drinks. And so Brandon was left with the other guy, and the other guy was like, look, I understand how you feel, but Mallory and Brandon, yes, they had a past, but they don't want each other. Mallory wants you and only you. He is a good guy, just give him a chance. And Rosh is just like, it's just in my culture. I just don't want to be friends with him. Like, you don't be friends with someone like your ex like that. So, everybody comes back, and Rosh is just still being ignorant to Brandon and stuff. Brandon's just trying to talk to him and say, look, Mallory is my friend and everything. Like you wanted respect, and you showed nothing but disrespect and everything. And Rosh is just like, you know what, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be your friend. I don't have to be your friend. And then at this point, Brandon just threw some popcorn at him, just got up and left. And Mallory was just like, you know what, it is hot. You have ruined my day. Let's just go. So Mallory and Rajko leave the baseball game early. She's chewing him out in the car, saying, I have no family here. My friends are my family. And Raj is like, well, I do it with my whole family. I threw away my whole family to be here and deleted my whole family to be here. She's like, you did not delete your whole family to be here and stuff. And Mallory is just like, when I had my car accident, Brandon was there with me. And she's like, I don't want to be his friend. And, you ruined my day. And, here's my opinion on that. I was on Raj's side in the beginning with the whole Brandon thing, because I do think like it is uncomfortable. Mallory wants to be around the guy that she used to screw in front of me and stuff. I was definitely on his side with that. However, in this situation, now I see it a little bit differently, because Mallory and Michaela went out of their way to like do this nice surprise for Raj to let him throw the first pitch at the baseball game and stuff. And you are being an a-hole to Mallory's friend, and he's done nothing but try to work. Yes, he comes up. Yes, Brandon does sound intimidating and does come off intimidating and stuff. But if this is what Mallory really wants, you're just gonna have to accept it. I mean, I get the uncomfort, and I would be uncomfortable too. But there's no reason to be an a-hole to him, especially in this kind of setting and stuff, because he's just gonna be around. Now, like I said, I was on Raj's side until this episode. I was on his side until this episode. So, with everything going on, and actually, and you know, honestly, I think they're the only couple from this season that ain't gonna make it. I think, yeah, because there's been some rumors that he's back in Turkey. So yeah. But yeah, that was Mallory and Raj. And the last couple I want to talk is Debbie and Mito. We finally got to see, I almost forgot them. Debbie and Mito. So after I'm going to keep them very brief. Well, first things first, everybody's happy to see them again from this episode because they haven't been on for the last couple of weeks. Now, remember, a few weeks ago, they got into that big fight at the Halloween thing. Debbie decides to take Mito to the lake to have a conversation about it. They just been like not talking to each other, just like on pins and needles with each other. They go, and you know, Debbie is trying so hard to fight for this. Mito don't really want to fight it. Debbie says that she loves Mito. Mito is just like, you know, I don't like it when you tell me that you love me. I'm not a person that says I love you, I love you, I love you. I need you to show me, support me, this and that and everything. And like, if you can fix it, great. If you can't, I'll get back to my country. He's blaming it all on her. He won't take accountability for nothing. He won't. He thinks everything he's innocent. He has not once said, I'm sorry, I was wrong. He's blaming everything on Debbie. Debbie has done nothing wrong but tried to support him and everything. But she brought him here on the K-1 visa, and he does not see that anymore. Now, I know they've been together 6 years, but he does not see that. And so they're still like on edge. A few days go by. Debbie's daughter, Devin, comes out. She's like, oh, you could cut the tension here with the knife, basically. And Mito was just like, I don't want to talk right now. Like, I just want some peace and quiet. And Devin was like, okay. So a few days later, Devin and Debbie go on to have some girl time to talk about it. And she's just like, you know, Debbie just told her daughter, she's like, you know, like, I'm going to keep fighting for this. Like, I don't want to give up. Mita did say that. I guess I'm going to stay here. I guess we're going to have to work it out, I guess, and stuff. And yeah, I'm keeping that brief. Judging by the previews of next week, like, Debbie's gonna be taking Mito to like a little wedding chapel, and he's gonna get pissed off about it for some reason. Don't know why. Mito don't care. Mito don't care nothing about Debbie. Now everybody's saying Debbie delusional, this and that. Now rumor has it that they got married, but Debbie is delusional to think that he is. Now I think this is not not heavily produced. I think this is really genuine and just how Mito really is. Yes, they probably got married, but they probably separated by now. Just saying, they're probably separated. So yeah, that was Debbie and Mito, and that was it. We've seen every couple in this episode actually. So that's good. I like it when the episodes show all the couples. Anyway, guys, that is the end of my review. Reminder program alert. I will be over on 90 Day Fiancé Honestly with Amy and B to recap this episode again. Yes, I'm doing double duty. I don't care. I love doing this. I can't wait to have a nice long conversation with them. We're gonna be talking way more in depth about these crazy couples, and I can't wait to do that. So I'll see you guys over there. We're doing this pre-recorded, so when it's uploaded, I'll share the link on my community feed for you guys to watch it. But again, so make sure you guys check me out over there. Please subscribe to them as well. And to my actual supporters, thank you so much for all your support and all your love. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. So yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow with Amy and B to recap this episode again. Then I'll be back on Tuesday to do the last resort. and then Wednesday for little singles, and then Thursday, and then Friday more Married at First Sight. So thank you guys so much. It's gonna be a marathon week of recaps. So I'll see y'all again soon. Love you guys. Bye.